There's a cabin past the valley where the pine trees kiss the sky, and the breeze it sings a mercy as the river wanders by. When the weight of life feels heavy and the road's too dark to see, I just walk those hills at sunrise, and he walks those hills with me. He walks these hills with me, where the silence sets me free. Every whisper through the branches feels like grace beneath my feet. No need for grand revivals, just the rustle of the leaves. He walks these hills with me, and my soul finds perfect peace. When I feel his presence near, in the hush between the raindrops, I can almost see him clear. There's a stillness in his comfort that no sermon's ever preached, like the echo of redemption in a language only trees speak. He walks these hills with me, through the shadow and the breeze. When the thunder shakes the mountain, still his voice is all I need. No gold or silver treasure could ever mean this much to me. He walks these hills with me, and my heart walks finally free. Maybe I'm just one more traveler, but I know where grace can grow. Not in mansions, but in meadows, where the quiet waters flow. He walks these hills with me, not with thunder, not with plea, but in every breath of stillness and each wildflower I see, till I cross that far horizon where the sky meets eternity. He walks these hills with me, and he always will with me. There's a trail behind the chapel where the sunlight filters through, and the wind it sings a hymn or two like the Lord is passing through. When my heart is worn and heavy and the world don't treat me kind, I go walking with my Savior to that shelter in the pines. Shelter in the pines, where the branches pray, where the ground feels holy and the noise fades away. He meets me in the stillness like he's waited all this time to hold me in his mercy in that shelter in the pines. I don't need no steeple ceiling to lift my soul in praise, 'cause the birds are singing grace notes and the creek knows how to pray. It's a quiet conversation, but it heals this heart of mine. Just me and sweet salvation in that shelter in the pines. shelter in the pines, where the Spirit grows, where the roots run deep, like the faith I know. He walks with me in silence, and peace is His design. I'm never lost or lonely in that shelter in the pines. Maybe heaven's not so far when you've seen His face embarking stars. Shelter in the pines, where the still winds blow, where my burdens lift and the grace flows slow. If you're searching for a refuge, leave the fear behind. You'll find Him waiting for you in that shelter in the pines. I was weary from the running, chasing dreams that turned to dust. Heart was heavy, hands were empty, lost the map, forgot to trust. But I heard a whisper through the pines, saying, child, this peace is mine. Down where the river's still, where the water knows His will, I laid my burdens in the flow and watched them drift where I can't go. Grace came rolling soft and wide, like heaven opened up the sky. I found rest upon the hill, down where the river's still. Mama prayed for me each evening, Daddy sang those gospel tunes. I was stubborn, always leaving, till the silence filled the room. Then I felt the Spirit call, like sunlight through the fall. Down where the river's still, where the water knows His will, I laid my burdens in the flow and watched them drift where I can't go. Grace came rolling soft and wide, like heaven opened up the sky. I found rest upon the hill, down where the river's still. Down where the river's still, where the quiet speaks so real, I lay my worries at His feet, and He gives back peace so sweet. Grace keeps flowing soft and wide, like Jesus standing by my side. I find rest and always will, down where the river's still. There's a path that winds through hills and pines, where silence speaks in holy signs. I walk alone, or so it seems, but He walks with me through every dream. He knows the way I want. light some nights, but in the still, He brings His light. The river flows, the bluebirds sing, and I remember who walks with me. He knows the way I wander, when I drift or when I pray, through every storm and thunder. He never turns away, with mercy like a sunrise, and grace that never fades. He holds my heart together. He knows the way I wander. I don't need to see the end, just trust the road He sends. He carves a trail of peace and truth, and walks it all the way with you. He knows the way I wander, when I drift or when I pray, through every storm and thunder. He never turns away, with mercy like a sunrise, and grace that never fades. I rest inside His promise. He knows the way I wander. World gets loud and I lose my way, and the road I'm walking turns shades of gray. I find a field where the daisies grow, and I talk to Jesus soft and low. He's the shelter in the stillness, the peace my soul can't miss. When the thunder rolls and the shadows stay, He lights the dark and leads the way. With every prayer and quiet breath, He lifts me up, He gives me rest. My Savior strong and endless, my shelter in the stillness. There's a creek that sings with the morning rain, and it carries off all my hurt and pain. I leave it there in the water song, where grace has flowed all along. He's the shelter in the stillness, the peace my soul can't miss. When the thunder rolls and the shadows stay, He lights the dark and leads the way. With every prayer and quiet breath, He lifts me up, He gives me rest. My Savior strong and endless, my shelter in the stillness. No church walls, just open skies, but the Lord is near when I close my eyes. He meets me there in the hush of dawn, and His mercy carries me on. He's the shelter in the stillness, the peace my soul can't miss. When my hands are weak and hope feels thin, He wraps me up and draws me in. With every prayer and quiet breath, He lifts me up, He gives me rest. My Savior, kind and fearless, my shelter in the stillness.
There's a quiet bend down an old dirt road where the wildflowers bloom and the tall grass grows. I go there when my heart's worn thin and the Lord just seems to pull me in. Where the river meets the grace, I find rest in that holy place. With the water running and the Spirit near, I can feel the Lord so clear. I lay it down, all fear erased. Where the river meets the grace. I've walked some roads I shouldn't have known, chased the wind and felt alone, but mercy found me time and again, like a long-lost song in the mountain wind. Where the river meets the grace, I find rest in that holy place. With the water running and the Spirit near, I can feel the Lord so clear. I lay it down, all fear erased. Where the river meets the grave. No need for fancy words or lines, He knows this simple heart of mine. The banjo rings, the fiddle sighs, and I lift my thanks to the sky. Where the river meets the grace, that's where I see my Savior's face. In stillness deep and silence sweet, His love and mine forever meet. No better home, no safer place than where the river meets the grace. Yes, I'll return till my final days, to where the river meets the grace. Out where the river runs slow and wide, I go to walk and leave my pride. The breeze speaks soft like a whispered prayer, and I know, Lord, You meet me there. I'm following the light, not my own way, through the hills and valleys, come what may. With every mile You make things right, peace in my soul, following the light. Mama used to hum them Sunday songs, even when the days felt dark and long. She'd say, son, when you don't know how, look up to heaven, He'll guide you now. I'm following the light, not my own way, through the hills and
valleys, come what may. With every mile you make things right. Peace in my soul, following the light. There's healing in a fiddle's cry, and mercy in the morning sky. I found more faith in country air than I ever did in anywhere. So I'm following the light step by step, leaving my burdens where grace is kept. No more running, no more fight, just peace in my soul, following the light. Yes, I found rest in the quiet night, and I'll keep following the light.